get a copy of it there.
Todd McGreevy from River City's Reader has a question. What was the Sheldon Adelson reference at the start of the news conference? Missed his alleged role in these allegations.
Deb, you want to take that one?
Sure.
Margaret?
Essentially, the allegation is that, and there's a lot of information to support this, that David Morales, who was the CEO of UC Global, went to a Las Vegas convention called the SHOT Convention, the private security company convention in Las Vegas in January 2017 or thereabouts. And there he was bragging about the fact that they had the gig at the embassy to monitor Julian Assange, and the Sheldon Adelson's security detail, we believe at that point, who were very connected with the Trump administration, recruited David Morales, and he returned from that trip and bragged to his employees that they were essentially working for the dark side. He's a mercenary now. It's, you know, big time. There's a lot of quotes about this, and this is all this all came out in the course of the criminal investigation against UC Global that's going on in Spain right now, that is being supervised by a high court judge there, and that is the judge that has seen enough evidence to ask the Mike Pompeo to testify, to flesh out the what the CIA links are, that the IP address queries and other requests for information and interrogatories that have been sent to the U.S. government and have been totally ignored. They're not denying it, they're just ignoring it. They're not cooperating with a judge in Spain who's trying to investigate exactly this issue. So that's where it comes from.
And I see that Kelly Lane and Sean Waterman have their hands up. Kelly, could you start, please?
Yes, just one moment. Let me get my camera on. So my question is about the court district. This is the Southern District of New York? That's the same where Donziger's case was heard? I guess I wanted to know if anyone had any more information about who the possible judges are, because, you know, we say someone said a presumed, you know, fairness in the court, but I just wanted to know if anyone could elaborate on that a little bit.
Bob, you want to take that one?
Well, I mean, there are dozens of district judges in the Southern District. We don't know yet which judge has been assigned to this case. I would think hear about that today, but there are dozens of district court judges, and they, when you file a lawsuit, it's assigned to a particular judge on a random basis, but we don't have the name of that judge yet.
Okay, thank
Sean
you.
Waterman. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Kelly. Did you have more?
No, I was just saying thank you. I just, you know, that case was very concerning, the way things were ruled there, but, you know, so thank you.
Sean?
Yeah, I'd like to ask the defendants, I mean, forgive me for not turning my camera on, the apartment's a bit of a mess today. I'd like to ask the plaintiffs, rather, if they would characterize the danger that this alleged behavior by the CIA represents, and sort of how they personally feel about, you know, what, if it's true, is a fairly egregious violation of their privacy. Thank you.
I just wanted to say one thing, and that is that when our electronic devices, or my electronic devices, were copied or whatever, that it's not just my dealings with Assange, right? As a journalist, I'm involved in an investigative team, as I said before, with the Süddeutsche at the time and NDR, and there's a whole lot of stories that that where there's a lot of information about those stories in our devices and in my device. And so that's another reason why I think it's important.
Mohammed has a quick follow-up question if we can go to this. He asks if we actually have standing to ask or demand that the extradition request be dropped, given that the lawsuit is being brought only on behalf of U.S. persons who are not acting on Julian's behalf.
So we're not asking, just so we're clear, we are not asking if the extradition proceeding be dropped. But some of the comments made here, particularly by the plaintiffs, are that how fair can that be if in fact they're taking our information? The result of this litigation is not to drop it, but it has there's a ripple effect. And the ripple effect is how fair is it for the US government or for the Brits to continue to go after Julian Assange when in fact they're engaging in this conduct? Deb, I think you want to add to that?
Yes.
I
I do. In the actual court case, part of the relief that we're requesting does not include dropping the charges, dropping the extradition, but as an American citizen, as an attorney, as a human being, I and many of my colleagues, including the plaintiffs, are absolutely calling on the DOJ to drop the charges, to not counter the appeal that's being lodged based on an extradition charge that was commenced by the Trump administration. Obama never, ever never did this. This was something that the Trump administration did. And they, for whatever reason, the Biden administration and Merrick Garland are permitting this to continue, even though it's anathema to democratic values of press freedom. This is a much broader issue than the court case. The court case is about our constitutional rights, but we are categorically calling for the extradition case to be dropped.
And there's a certain irony here in that this very morning, Senator Rand Paul actually is asking for the repeal of the Espionage Act, the very act which they're going after Julian for. So hopefully that consensus will get stronger. And yes, that's not the goal of this lawsuit, but that we can't deny that is a goal.
Okay, I think we have time for maybe one or two more. Kathy, I don't know if there was a time limit on this, but so I'm not sure when it's going to.
No time limit.
Oh, no time limit. That's just fantastic. Let's be here all day.
I think a few individuals have left their hands up. So to make sure we see who really has another question.
I think Joe Loria has a follow-up. I know that. It looks
Margaret.
like Margaret does too.
Perfect.
Joe, are you there?
Little tech issue, perhaps.
How about Margaret?
Thank you. Are you anticipating, Margaret Kimberly from Black Agenda Report, are you anticipating what Pompeo's defense will be? Is there some sort of executive privilege he can claim? Are you, what do you think his defense will be?
Well, Bob, you want to handle that? Either of us can do it.
We assume he'll raise a whole host of defenses. I wouldn't want to speculate as to what he would raise at this point. I don't think we're going out on a limb to say that, as Richard said earlier, that there's going to be issues of executive privilege and secrets and so forth that are raised at a minimum in the course of discovery and maybe as substantive defenses to the case. So, we'll see. The ball is, once we've served the complaint, the ball is now in their court to issue a responsive pleading, and we'll see what that says.
If there are no more questions, I just Nathan and Deb, I know that you talked about some resources for any journalists who might want some more information. And Nathan, I don't know if you want to give out a few websites, and Deb, you too, if there are a few websites that you encourage people to go to.
Absolutely, yes. I just posted the filing and a copy of this press conference actually onto AssangeDefense.org. So that's the place to go for courtroom reports. You can see a guide to the extradition hearing and recounting the testimony, as well as upcoming events and how to get involved or to learn more. So that's AssangeDefense.org.
Deb, do you any other?
Yes, I am posting links to two really important publications. One is, I just got one. Niels Meltzer, who was the UN Special Rapporteur on Torture, has recently published a fantastic book, really delving into the character assassination of Julian Assange and how the government has manipulated the way in which people see Assange and how effective that's been as a tool to undermine the very legitimate arguments that we have. And then a little bit older, but still extremely important, is the Or Books anthology of essays about the trial of Julian Assange in the public, really, in the public sphere. And it's got essays by renowned academics and philosophers and journalists all over the world who are supportive of the case and are really driving home why this case is so important for press freedom. And it really criminalizes investigative journalism, and all the journalists here should be extremely concerned about this case reaching our shores, especially with the Supreme Court we've got right now. We can't let this happen.
I would encourage everybody who can to download Pompeo's speech that he gave when he first became head of the CIA, where he stated specifically that he was going to go after Assange and he was going to go after people who are working with Assange. So that's another admission against interest.
You're muted, Trevor.
Be great if you had somebody who knew what they were doing. Sorry about that. For any journalist who has any further questions or would like to speak to any of the participants, I have put my email and cell phone in the message to everyone in the chat. So feel free to email or call if you'd like to follow up with anybody else.
And thank you all for your very thoughtful questions.
Thank you, Heidi and Trevor.
Take care, everyone.
Have a great day. Bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
And
Bye.
we're out. Thank you very much, everyone.